Welcome to a new segment called In Case You Missed It, where I'll briefly go over the most popular releases of last week in movies and TV. I'm your host, the Stud Muffin Tom Cruise, and let's get started right away with movies. On Friday, October 18th, a decade after the release of the original, the sequel to Zombieland, Zombieland Double Tap, was released into theaters. The main cast of the original returns, starring Woody Harrelson as Tallahassee, Jesse Eisenberg as Columbus, Emma Stone as Wichita, and Abigail Breslin as Little Rock. Perhaps the most notable difference in the sequel is Abigail Breslin, who was just 13 years old in the original Zombieland and is now 23 years old in the sequel. The movie follows the dysfunctional family of four in a zombie-filled post-apocalyptic future as they set up a new home in the White House. But an all-new adventure begins when sisters Wichita and Little Rock decide to pack it up and leave. As of yesterday, Zombieland Double Tap has grossed a worldwide total of $32 million, debuting to $26.7 million. The film received a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, with critics saying the sequel retains its witty dialogue and self-aware jokes that will appeal to fans of the original as well as fans of the zombie horror genre. Not to mention the over-the-top gratuitous zombie gore, but that's to be expected, isn't it? With Halloween just around the corner, Zombieland Double Tap is the perfect movie to see to get into the holiday spirit. Released on October 18th alongside Zombieland Double Tap was the sequel to 2014's Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil features a main cast of Angelina Jolie as Maleficent, Elle Fanning as Princess Aurora, Michelle Pfeiffer as Queen Ingrid, and Harris Dickinson as Prince Philip. The story continues 5 years after the events of Maleficent, and picks up when Prince Philip from a neighboring kingdom proposes to Princess Aurora. Aurora's godmother, Maleficent, is against the marriage, and will butt heads with Philip's mother, the power-hungry Queen Ingrid. Angelina Jolie and Michelle Pfeiffer make for excellent adversaries in a captivating conflict full of magical charm and impressive visuals. As of yesterday, Maleficent's Mistress of Evil has grossed a worldwide total of $153 million, debuting to $36 million. It finished first in the box office, but had a 48% decline from the $69 million debut of the first film. It received a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, with praise for its cast and visuals, but criticism for the narrative. Despite the low score on Rotten Tomatoes, it's still a movie that the whole family can find some enjoyment in. Tuesday saw the return of the highly ranked show Arrow for its 8th and final season. Arrow features Stephen Amell as Oliver Queen, based off the DC comic book character Green Arrow. The series has been going on since October of 2012 and is finally coming to a close with its final season. The story had small beginnings, but has since expanded into an entire multiverse of characters that has turned into a massive crossover event in its final season. If you're a fan of comic book superhero stories, you won't want to miss this. On Friday, Hulu premiered Looking for Alaska, a new show based on the novel of the same name by John Green. The story follows a young boy named Miles Halter, who is nicknamed Pudge by his friends. Pudge enrolls at a boarding school where he meets Alaska Young, a beautiful and clever girl with a mysterious past. The show is a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, with the critics saying it is bittersweet and beautifully performed. I recommend you give this series a try if you enjoyed the movies Paper Towns and The Fault in Our Stars, both of which were based off of books written by John Green. The 8-episode series is now available in full only on Hulu, so be sure to give it a watch to join the discussion on this new series. On Friday, Netflix premiered Living with Yourself, a new sci-fi comedy series starring Paul Rudd about a man who, after seeking a mysterious self-improvement treatment, accidentally replaced himself with a new and improved clone of himself. The show has an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, with critics saying that it is strange, surreal, surprising, and engaging thanks to its clever writing and Paul Rudd's dueling performances. Tom Brady even makes a hilarious cameo, so be sure to watch the 8-episode season only on Netflix to join the discussion while it's still fresh. That'll do it for this week's segment of In Case You Missed It. Be sure to tune in next week to catch up on the most popular releases of this week. I'm your host, the Stud Muffin Tom Cruise, and keep it locked to good night.